Teacher talking sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And I think as human beings, the majority of us are predisposed to believe that things from our childhood are just better than they are today, whether it's music, maybe games, or the sporting events that we see on our television. My first foray into watching sports really came during the 1990s. A huge fan of all sports. I remember my dad every year he'd ask me who's going to win the NBA championship without even pausing. I'd say the New York Knicks. I'm a diehard Knicks fan, and my dad would laugh. Who would know that all these years later? I'd still be waiting for the first championship. But anyway, anyhow, I love the NBA in the 1990s. Still love it today. But if you ask me my favorite era, I'd say probably that era. Well, Anthony Edwards is not from the 1990s. He is, one of the young superstars currently in the NBA today. And he's clearly not a fan of 1990s basketball. He gave these comments to the Wall Street Journal, but this is via Bro Bible. Anthony Edwards claims no NBA players in the 90s had skill other than Michael Jordan. My childhood heart just exploded reading that because it truly does break my childhood heart because I was such a fan of 1990s basketball. And yes, Anthony Edwards was born in 2001, so he wasn't even around for it. But this is what he had to say. So Minnesota Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards ruffled feathers recently when he made the bold claim that Michael Jordan was the only skilled player in the NBA in the 1990s. Edwards made the comment in an interview with Lane Florsheim of the Wall Street Journal for a featured piece on the budding superstar. I didn't watch it back in the day, so I can't speak on it. Well, he's about to go speak on it. They say it was tougher back then than it is now, but I don't think anybody had skill back then, Edwards said. Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill. You know what I mean? So that's why when they saw Kobe Bryant, they were like, oh my God. But now everybody has skill. Well, I mean, that's what fans are going to do. I mean, Kobe's an all time great. Michael Jordan's an all time great. When that all time great comes around, people are going to watch in awe. They do it with Steph Curry now. LeBron James. It's, happened throughout the history. I'm sure it happened in the days of Bob Cousy, Elgin Baylor, guys like that. But yeah, I mean, I get it. He's trying to ruffle feathers, and you see people make quotes like this more often. JJ Redick basically called all the guys from the 60s, 70s firefighters or something like that. But Allen Iverson, Hakeem Olajuwon, maybe one of the most skilled big men of all time. I mean, Dominique Wilkins, who most of his heyday was the 80s, Clyde Drexler, I'm a Knicks fan, Patrick Ewing. If he played in today's NBA, he definitely would have extended his game to the 3-point line, was one of the best jump shooting big men of his day. But, I mean, Isaiah Thomas. I could go on and on. I mean, look at the guy who he's trying to catch as the greatest Timberwolf player of all time, Kevin Garnett. He when did he start? 95, 96. So played half of the 90s. Allen Iverson played half the decade. So to say that Michael Jordan was the only skilled player from the 1990s is kind of crazy. The Rain Man, Sean Kemp. I mean, I could go on and on. Scottie Pippen. Even a guy like Mark Price was almost a 50-40-90 guy with the Cavaliers. But yeah, what are your thoughts on what Anthony Edwards had to say? Do you really think he believes that? Or does he truly believe Michael Jordan's the only skilled player? I mean, he says he didn't watch it. Obviously, he wasn't born yet. He was born in 2001. But yes, that's just the narrative that's kind of going on. And, I don't believe it for 1 second. Plenty of skilled players in the 1990s. Vince Carter got his start in the 1990s. I'm going to stop because I could keep naming guys. Latrell Sprewell. Let me stop. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.